Good evening, students. Welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to discuss homework questions of 27th of April. That is today. So, we will start with the first question. I hope you have received the questions of homework today, and that questions are basically from electric field. So, in today's lecture, that will be of I think 20 to 25 minutes long. This video will be 20 to 25 minutes long, maybe more than that. But in this video, we are going to discuss the questions and how to solve that questions. You can say hint for a particular question. That things we will discuss. Okay. So I am starting with the very first question, and this is question number one. Question number this is okay. So this is what? This is question number one. Wait, bache. Okay. So this is question number one and first part of question number one. Question number one. Further, it is first part of question number one. There are two parts in the question number one. Both two squares are given, one square and another square. So the left side square or first part I am drawing here. So according to the first part, this is the square given to me. Let's suppose this is the square which is given to me. According to the question now, according to the question, this is A. Okay, let's mark here. This is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Here at the four corners some charges are placed and their values is, this is plus Q, this is plus Q, but what you can take here plus 1 coulomb. Okay, in the test, in the questions we have taken here plus Q. Please take here 1 coulomb and take here minus 1 coulomb. Make a correction first. Then this is plus 4 coulomb, plus 4 coulomb charge, and this is plus 2 coulomb charge. This is plus 2 coulomb. So these are the value of 4 charges which are placed at ABCD. I hope it is clear. And now what you have to find? You have to find the electric field, the magnitude of electric field at the center of this square. So here you have to find at this particular point which is denoted here. At this particular point you have to find the magnitude of electric field here. So students, we are going to start the question. If you will pay the complete attention here, then you can easily understand this question. First of all, I will talk about this plus 1 coulomb charge. If I place a positive test charge here, then the direction of electric field will be in this direction. I hope you can easily understand. Positive charge will repel the positive test charge, so that the direction of electric field will be in this direction. I am representing it as EA, which means electric field due to charge A. So I am representing it as EA. Then due to this negative charge, minus 1 coulomb, due to this negative charge, if I place a positive test charge here, then this will be the direction of electric field due to the negative charge. I will write it as EC. So I am writing it as EC. Now two vectors EC and EC and EA are in same direction. So these two will be added. So now these two will be added. So E net, let's suppose it as E1. Let's suppose this is the resultant vector which is E1. So magnitude of E1 will be equal to EA plus EC. I hope you can understand this thing. Magnitude of E1 is equal to EA plus EC. Now this distance, okay, wait, this distance is from here to here, the distance is A by root 2. This thing we have discussed earlier in the force numericals also, A by root 2. And when you calculate EA, I am writing here the value of EA now. EA is equal to K into 1 coulomb charge is there, so K into 1 divided by R square, where R square will be A by root 2 square, root 2 square. So that means EA will be equal to 2K by A square, 2K by A square. This is the magnitude of EA. In the same way, when you have to find the magnitude of EC, EC will be also same. So E1 is equal to EA plus EC. So E1 is what? E1 is equal to EA plus EC. So this is equal to 2K by A square plus 2K by A square. So the magnitude of E1 will be 4K by A square. 4K by A square. This is the magnitude of E1. You can note down up to this point. This is the magnitude of E1. You can note down up to this point. You can pause the video and note down. Now I am raising some things so that we can solve the question further. And students, one more thing, if you are feeling that this video is useful, then you can share this video with your friends who are studying in the 12th class. So we have calculated up to E1 we have calculated. Now see, this is the direction, this is plus 4 coulomb. The direction of electric field due to plus 4 coulomb will be in this direction, and the direction of electric field due to plus 2 coulomb will be in this direction. Now these two are in opposite direction, but they don't have the same magnitude. The magnitude of EB, which is this one, so magnitude of EB is greater than magnitude of EC. So magnitude of EB is greater than magnitude of, okay बच्चे यहाँ make a correction here, this is ED, okay, so you have to make a correction here. Instead of EC you have to write here ED, okay, you have to write here ED, okay, ED. So this is EB and this is EC, so this is EC. Now what will happen, these two electric field are in opposite direction, but they don't have the same magnitude. So E2, let's suppose E2 is the resultant of these two, so E2 will be equal to greater minus smaller, greater is EB, so EB minus EC. This is the value of net electric field in this case. So this E2, EB you can calculate. When you will calculate EB will be equal to 4 to the 8, so it will be 8K by A square. It will be 8K by A square minus 2 to the 4K by a square. So this is what? This is 8k by a square minus 4k by a square. When you will solve it, you will get E2 equal to 4k by a square. I hope you can understand this thing. You can note this step, and finally you can see final direction EB is greater. So final direction will be along EB. So this will be the direction, this will be the direction of E2. So E2 and E1 both will be equal. E1 we have also calculated, that has also the same magnitude, 4k by a square. E1 has same magnitude, E2 has also same magnitude. Now two forces are there having the same magnitude, and angle between them is 90 degree. Whenever there are two same forces and angle between them is 90 degree, then you can use the parallelogram law, and finally your answer will be, when you have the two equal forces and angle between them is 90 degree, then the resultant will be, so here is I am writing ER, which is resultant. So ER is the resultant, and whenever you have two forces having same magnitude, then you use the parallelogram law, then the resultant is under root 2 times any one of the forces. So here is under root 2, 4k by a square. This will be the resultant electric field at this particular point in the first question. The little bit mistake is there. EA and ED will be added in the first case. Values are same, but instead of EC you have to write ED. Rest things are clear. First question, any doubt? First question, final answer is under root 2 4k by a square. This is the final answer for the first question. Now see how to solve the second question. How to solve the second question and what will be the magnitude of second question. So in the second question, you can see in the second question, particular second part of first question, and now the question is, this is the question, square is, okay, take a square. So square is given to me, again similar type of square is there, and the charges which are placed at ABCD, this is plus 1 coulomb. So plus 1 I am writing here, I am not writing coulomb. This is plus 3, this is plus 3, this is minus 1, and this is plus 2 coulomb. So let's write it as ABCD. It is A, it is B, it is C, and let's suppose it as D. So at the center point, at this particular point, electric field due to charge placed at A will be along this direction, and electric field due to charge plus 2 will be along this direction. Now you have to solve these two and find the resultant. Resultant will be obviously higher along the more magnitude is of 2 coulomb. The magnitude of ED, this is ED, so magnitude of ED will be more than EA, because distance is same, so then we have to consider the charges, so magnitude of ED will be greater than EA. Okay, so this is the now case. Then find the resultant. So if E1 is the resultant, I am taking E1 is the resultant, then E1 will be equal to, it is equal to which is greater is ED. So ED minus EA, this is the resultant. Let's take the side of square is EA, sorry, the side of square is A. So ED will be equal to K into 2 by A square by 2. So 2 will multiply here. 2 2 is the 4. Okay, I will continue that question. Wait, 2 2 is the 4. So minus 2 into K. Okay, right here K only, because EA is having the charge 1 coulomb. So K into 1 divided by A square by 2. So this is A square by 2. That 2 will go in a numerator. A square by 2 in the denominator, that 2 will go in the go to the numerator, and value of EA is finally equal to 4 minus 2k, the 4k minus 2k, that is 2k by A square. Note down up to this point, 2k by A square. So this is the magnitude of E1. This is the magnitude of E1. E1 is equal to ED minus EA. ED is equal to K into 2 divided by A square by 2. That 2 will go in the numerator and multiply with 2k like here, and this is calculation of E1. I hope you have noted down. You can note down up to this step. Now I am going to erase this one. So what is the direction of E1? E1 will be along ED, because the vector having more magnitude, that will be the resultant. So ED will be, the direction of E1 will be along the ED. So I hope this is the direction, you can easily understand. This is the direction of E1, and the value of E1 you have to remember, that is 4k minus 2k, so that is 2k by A square. Now listen, this is 3, due to this charge plus 3 coulomb, the electric field will be along this direction. Due to minus 1 coulomb, electric field will be along this direction. So let's now talk about E2. So E2 will be equal to magnitude of 3k into divided by A square by 2. These two vectors are in same direction. So this is 2 plus that. Let's talk about this fold EC. Sorry, this is EB. This electric field is due to EB, B charge, and now I am writing the electric field due to C, that is K into 1, because 1 coulomb charge is there, and then we have A square by 2, so that 2 will go to numerator. So 3 2 is the 6, and 6 plus 2, it is 8k by A square. So E2 value is 8k by A square. So the value of E2 is equal to 8k by A square. You can note down up to this value. Now we have to find the resultant of these two. Now you have to find the resultant of these two. So now E1 and E2 are perpendicular, but they don't have the same magnitude. So this is E2. This is the direction of E2, and the value of E2 is 8k by A square. This has magnitude 8k by A square, and the magnitude of E1, which is upper force. So E1 is equal to upper direction electric field of, so it is equal to 4k by A square. Now these two forces are not equal, but their angle between them is 90 degree. That's why I was taking the questions of square only, because in the square question this angle is equal to 90, and it is easy to find the resultant. Otherwise in the rectangle type questions you will obviously face some difficulty. So now we have to find the resultant, and the resultant is, let's suppose it is ER. So let's suppose it is ER. So parallelogram law I am using here. Resultant is equal to under root 4k by a square, which is one vector. So you can say it as 4k by a square. Its square is there, plus 8k by a square. So you can write it as e1 square plus e2 square plus 2 e1 e2 cos 90. But due to cos 90 the third term will be 0. Due to cos 90 the third term will be equal to 0. So that's why I am not writing the third term here. So 4 4 the 16, 8 8 the 64. So 64 plus 4, that is equal to 80. So finally your resultant will be, here I am writing the resultant value, and your resultant is equal to ER. Here I am writing the value of ER, and the final value of ER is equal to under root 80 k, where k is the constant, and if you know the value you can put the value. So under root 80k divided by a square, and you have to mention the units of electric field also, that are Newton per coulomb. So this, in this way you have to solve the particular question. If you are getting the trick, then it's good, you can share this video with your friends, and for every homework we are trying that we can provide the video, so that every student who wants to repeat that question, because due to some network issues sometimes the students miss the board, sometimes students do not get the concept. So that's why we are trying to deliver you the content through the videos also. So I hope 2 questions we have done. Now I am moving to the second question. In the second question you can see, I am raising the board now. In the second question you can see what is asked. The question is about the two charges. The question is about the two charges which are placed at A and B. Let's suppose this is the straight line, and this point is A and this point is B here. Now according to the given question, the charge which is placed at A, let's suppose it is equal to Q1, and this is equal to Q2. So now what he is asking? He is asking about the let's suppose this value is given 2 coulomb, and this value is also given, that is minus 4 coulomb. So according to the question, it is given that Q1 attract Q2. So Q1 is attracting the Q2 charge. It is attracting it with some force, and that force is given by 40 Newton. So that force is 40 Newton. So now in the question it is asked, find the electric field due to Q1. Listen to the question. Find the electric field due to Q1 at point B. So when you have to find the electric field due to charge Q1, then Q1 will act as source charge, and this minus 4 coulomb will act as test charge. So electric field due to Q1 at B will be equal to 40, that is force per unit test charge. So test charge is 4. So electric field due to Q1 at point B is equal to 10 Newton per coulomb. So this is the value of magnitude, this is the magnitude, you can say. This is the electric field due to charge Q1. Now see the next concept. The next concept is, he is asking in the question also, find the electric field due to charge Q2 at point A. Now see, if this Q1 charge is attracting this Q2 charge, then obviously Q2 will also attract the charge Q1 with the same force 40 Newton. I hope it is clear. If Q1 is attracting Q2 with the force 40 Newton, then obviously Q2 will also attract this Q1 with the force 40 Newton. And if I have to find the electric field due to this charge Q2 at point A, then this A point, the charge at point A will act as test charge. So due to this case, the electric field due to charge Q at point A will be 40 by 2, that is equal to 20 Newton per coulomb. So this will be the answer for second question. The electric field due to Q1 at point B will be equal to 10 Newton per coulomb, and the value of electric field due to charge Q2 at position A will be equal to that is equal to 20 Newton per coulomb. In this way you have to solve the question number 2. I hope it is also clear. Now we are moving to the question number 3. Now we are moving to question number 3. I am drawing that question. After this question we will end the session. Okay. So third question I am drawing here. Okay. So first question of third. Wait. First question of third. First question of first part of third question. So this is question. According to the given question, let's talk about the first part first. So according to the given question, he is saying that this is plus Q, this is plus Q, and this is also plus Q. So both are positive charge. Now electric field due to this plus Q will be along at this point C, will be along this direction. This is point, this was given point A, this was given point B, and this was given point C in the given question. Okay, now due to this positive charge, the electric field will be along this direction. Now these two have same force, same electric field. This is L, and equilateral triangle is there. So force is electric field, this E1 will be obviously equal to E2. E1 will be equal to E2, and angle between them is obviously you can see this angle is 60, then this angle will be also 60. So vertically opposite angle. Now two forces are equal and angle between them is 60 degree. So whenever two forces are equal and angle between them is 60 degree, use the parallelogram law. Let's take it E1 equal to E2, E1 equal to E2 है. So this is square root E1 square. Okay, now I am going to solve this one. E1 square plus E1 square, because I am taking E2 equal to E1. So this is again E1 square, then plus 1 by 2, sorry, plus 2 E1 E2 cos theta. So E1 E2 I am taking both as E1. So E1 into cos 60, because in the equilateral triangle this angle is 60 and vertically opposite angle these are. So 60 is equal to cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2. So whenever two forces are equal, 2 and 2 will cancel out. So whenever two forces are equal, then the resultant will be equal to under root 3 times. Then the resultant will be equal to under root 3 times the either force. So under root 3 times E1 you can say this is the resultant force, the resultant electric field. So ER is equal to under root 3 times E1. If you have to put the value of E1, then it will be under root 3. You can write here K, where K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by L square. So this will be the resultant electric field. You can make it in a box, you can mark it in a box. So this is the resultant electric field for first question at point C for the first part of third question, and at the point C we have to find the electric field. So this is the result of third question, first part. And the last question, I am giving the hint for that particular question, but I will not give the complete solution. So this charge is replaced by minus q, I think. Yes, this is replaced by minus q. This is again plus q as in the first part. Then we have 3 points. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Now I am giving this question as a homework to you, and due to this negative charge, the direction of electric field will be along this direction. This will be the direction of electric field, and due to this positive charge, test charge is placed here, positive test charge. So direction of force will be along this direction. Let's take it as E1, or you can write it as EA. So EA you can write, this is EB. So both the forces, both the vectors are equal. EB and EA both have same magnitude because distance is same, L and L. Distance is same for equilateral triangle, and the magnitude of charge is here Q, and here is also Q. Negative sign you have to know not to consider when you have to take the direction. Now see what will happen. Now these two vectors are equal, and angle between them is this angle you have to find. This inner angle is 60, so outer angle will be 120 degree. And when the two vectors are equal and angle between them is 120 degree, then the resultant will be, now this part you have to do in the calculation, and I am telling the answer of this question. The final answer, that is ER. Now rest of things you have to calculate, parallelogram law you have to use. So ER will be equal to K into Q by L square. So this is the final answer. Cos 120 is equal to minus 1 by 2. You can do one calculation part, and this will be the final answer for this particular question. If you want to see how to solve, then you can I can solve here. Okay, wait, I am solving this question. So this is under root EA, and both EB and EA are equal. So EA I will put here EA square plus EA square. So this is again EA square plus EA square, because EA and EB both are equal in this case. Then this is plus 2 EA into EA. So 2 EA square into cos 120, and cos 120 is what? Cos 120 is equal to minus 1 by 2. So cos 120 is equal to minus 1 by 2. This 2 will cancel out with this 2, and this is negative sign. So 1 EA will also cancel. So you will get the resultant equal to either one of the force. So one of the force is equal to ER equal to EA. Finally I get ER equal to EA, and EA is equal to, so ER equal to EA, and EA is finally equal to K into Q divided by L square. So this will be the answer for the second part of third question. And in this way we are thinking that you should proceed for the next class, as you have started the topics also. So we are thinking how to cover the topics using videos also, to cover the homework using videos also, so that you can replay the video, and you can pause the video whenever you required. So I hope this is a good method again, and last year we have also done some videos. So if you feel this video method is useful, then you can like, share and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to give any suggestions, then you can give the suggestions on this number also, or you can send the suggestions to sir also, Sushil sir. So this is my contact number, and I hope some students are new here. So this is my contact number, and you can give the suggestions here. That suggestions you will obviously see. If that suggestions will be required, then that suggestions will be good, then you can obviously see some changes in the future also, in the future video. That will be future upcoming video. Okay, so I hope you can you have learned a lot from this video, and thank you so much, and take care, and bye bye. Give your suggestions also on this number. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.